Okay, no calculator allowed on this test. Alright, you've got to know how to add and subtract, multiply, blah blah blah, positive and negative numbers. Right, so I have a number line. Alright, there's good old 0. So, whenever I have any number, no matter where I start, if I add a positive number, I go that way. Okay, if I add a positive number. So let's just say that, okay? When I add a negative number, I subtract, in other words, I go this way, okay? So, where are we starting? Let's have a look at this. We are starting at negative 5. What am I doing? I'm adding a negative number. I'm going to go this way down the number line. Another 3 will take me to negative 8, and that's the answer, okay? Now, there are little rules, though, to remember about this, okay? No, that's the answer. But here we go. And it's this. If you do look at the book, have a look at the online version of the book, and you look at these notes, they do say, in a nice big blue box, and this is it, when you add things of the same sign, add the numbers and keep the sign. Look at it. What's 5 and 3? It's 8, but of course it's going to be negative 8, and that's what we had when we actually did the number line. But that's it. Let's have a look at another one. Negative 7, negative 12. The signs are the same. Add the numbers, what's 17 and 12, and keep the sign. Okay, and that's it. So I know sometimes you see the questions written like this. I could write like that, negative 7 plus negative 12, all right, but it's the same thing. That is just the same as that, you know. The signs are the same, all right. I'm just adding things of the same sign, but it can be written like that as well. So do remember that, all right. Go on, one more. Negative 1 is negative 2. Oops, negative 2. Okay, it's 1 and 1, but they're both negative, okay. Don't think 2 negatives make a positive for this one, okay. 2 negatives make a positive is when you multiply. Negative 5 times negative 3 is positive 15, all right. This is just negative 5, another negative 3 is negative 8. That's that, all right. So let's look at the next question. Actually, no, I'm going to kind of dream another one up. Okay, what if they're not the same sign? All right. And actually, a classic one is actually down here. Look at question 11. All right, positive 35, negative 14. Well, that's just 35 take away 14. That's 21. That's going to be the easiest one you do on the test. Okay. So, but again, I'm subtracting. Okay. Now look at this one. Now, negative 64. Add 23. Right, well, what's 64 take away 23? Suppose I did it back to front, all right? Well, that is 41, all right? This is negative 41. I'll show you why. Okay, here we go. A number line. Okay, right. There's 0. Here is negative 64. When I add 23, remember, I'm going that way. But I'm only going to go up to about, I don't know, somewhere around about here, okay? I'm not going to go as far as 0. If I added 64, remember that additive inverse question? If I start at negative 64 and add 64, I'll get as far as 0. But I'm only adding 23, okay? So I'm going to get somewhere as far as here. So think to yourself, you know, logically, when you look at your answer, is it somewhere around about here? Well, I know mine is, all right? But this is how we say it. Again, if you look in the book, when the signs are different, all right, you subtract the numbers. Now take the absolute. What I'm saying that is subtract it by doing the absolutes. What's the absolute? Remember absolutes? Of negative 64. It's positive 64. What's the absolute of 23? It's just 23. So when you subtract the absolutes, you are doing this question. Okay? You get 41. But remember, you've got more negatives. That's how I think about it. There's definitely more negatives. The answer's got to be negative. So it's negative 41. So again, when the signs are different, just do the subtraction. But I just think, well, you know, always take the smaller number away from the bigger number. Forget about the sign. Just take the smaller number, 23, away from the bigger number, 64. You get 41. Okay? But it's negative 41. Right, one more. Let's have a look at this up here. What's this one doing? All right, let's look at this question. This question 9. Right. Now then, here is, please remember, where 2 negatives do make a positive, when they're right next to each other, okay? This is not a multiplication, it's 14, not take away 6. 14 take away 6 is 8. So 14 take away negative 6 is 20, okay? You can only go 2 numbers on the 2 ways on the number line. Negative 6, if you take away 6, So if you take away negative 6, I know it sounds a bit strange, but you're going to go the other way. There's only two ways to go. Take away 6, you go to the left. So take away negative 6, you must go to the right. And that means you are adding. Okay, so just remember that. Very visual. When you see that in a question, just put a plus sign. Straight away, just put a plus there, okay? Right, so 14. Add 6 is 20. Then when you add a negative 15, you're just taking away 15. Okay, the answer's 5. And I think that's all the questions done there. There you go.